Well, welcome in everybody to episode 12 of Fancie's Fables, End of Eras. We are joined tonight by 2 out of our 4 wonderful players, Kelpel Glory and A Dufresne 99, playing Phoebe and Cain respectively. Yesterday, if you were able to catch the stream, we had a wonderful episode between Temin and Co, as they discussed many things regarding war, peace, and that which motivates them, as they headed to Baldur's Gate, for reasons you'll have to discover by either watching the VOD or catching the video on YouTube. But tonight, we are going to follow Cain and Phoebe for whatever picks them up over the next couple of days in our story. We wrapped up the episode prior, episode 10. We wrapped up a little story in Baldur's Gate, which involved our first guest player, McHuntingtons, who was wonderful and amazing, and we really appreciated him. He added so much, and it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to our next guest spot, as I know our players look forward to it as well. Now, we are going to start tonight with a question, as we do every single time. No recap, just like yesterday, no recap. If you want to know what's happened before now, check out the YouTube link there in chat. So yes, we are going to start tonight with a question. And the question is going to be the same thing I asked the boys yesterday, but it didn't really work out perfectly, so we're going to reformat it slightly. What's your character's biggest fear? I had asked phobia, but that was too restrictive for them.
Hey, Randy, you want to go first?
So we talked, okay, so I actually watched yesterday's episode while it was live, and I was in chat, and chat kind of agreed. It's hard to really figure out like what a phobia is, right? So that's why you rephrased the question. Something he's afraid of. So again, Cain isn't exactly like afraid of things. He is afraid of classic, because he's a big stuffy classic. Like, he's afraid to lose someone he loves. He's afraid to lose his friends. He's afraid to lose those things. If we're talking comedic purposes, he's honestly just afraid of, well, I don't want to say he's afraid of dying, but he is afraid of dying because he's afraid of not being able to keep the ones he loves safe. But he is, and I think just for like the purposes of comedic effect, he might have a small fear of rats. Who knows?
They're menaces. They're absolute
They're
menaces.
Fucking valid.
He doesn't wear it on his sleeve, but he might have a small fear of rats.
You know what? That's just called PTSD, dude. Like, they're coming out in the woods. They're coming out in the alleys of the streets. They're coming out in underground cavern dungeons.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so Phoebe, being tiny little individual that she is afraid of many things. She's afraid of the dark. She's afraid of big scary creatures that she doesn't know anything about. But
Reasonable.
I think, yeah, most importantly, she is afraid of, letting the people, like, she's not able to heal or do what she has trained and studied to do, which is heal someone and make sure that they're okay. She doesn't want to let them down if
That
she can
makes
help
sense.
it.
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds, bitch.
Bitch.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. I love it. Makes sense to me. All right. As I had previously stated, we just wrapped up a little excursion to Baldur's Gate. We are going to pick up a few days after that. Our party members have been in Waterdeep, back in their hub. And they have been following their own personal goals. For Phoebe, that includes talking to the first person she's met outside of her home that knows of her mother, Olhara Honeypot. So Phoebe and Temin, after splitting ways from the rest of the group, head back to the Twig and Sprig. Over the next couple of days, Phoebe becomes somewhat of a part-time worker with Geke, learning all sorts of new things about herbalism and plants and the healing natural remedies that this world gives us. Geke does have some magic, but it's more utilitarian. She definitely is not as skilled in the healing arts as Phoebe or her mother. However, Geke still has a lot of knowledge of which to impart upon our small halfling. Now, after a few days, Temin is with you through them, but there's only so much he can learn about plants before he must do his own thing. So after one of your shifts one day, Temin decides, Phoebe, I am going to go take a walk and see what else I can find here in Waterdeep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just keep in mind what we talked about. We're gonna use our manners, and we're gonna try to stray away from the vocabulary that your friends in the army taught you.
Yes, I will not call guards dirty bootlickers while
Good.
they're around me.
Oh, okay. That's a start. I'll accept that.
Thank you for reminding me, Phoebe.
Of course. And if you need to find me, I'm sure you can find me.
Yes. And then he waves, even though you're like 2 feet away from each other, and
That's what we do.
he walks away into the sunset.
There he goes. Cue the outro.
And that's our episode. At the same time, Cain is currently on a little mission. One given to him by his... What would be the appropriate title to give here?
Thing.
I don't know. It's complicated. If we were on Facebook, I just don't know.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. With Cain's complication, yes, he finishes his job as Cain is known to do. He is absolutely a closer. And he heads back to the Gilded Nymph to deliver the rewards of his mission. And that's where we're going to pick up with Cain. In the back of the Gilded Nymph, the most illustrious brothel in Waterdeep, in the northern end of the Trades District, just south of the Northern District, where all of the richy rich of Waterdeep live. Quite a convenient place for such a high upstanding business. In the back of the building is an office, one belonging to the matriarch and owner of the business, Gilandra. Cain, you enter Gilandra's
The room?
study.
Oh, okay, good.
Am I in the room yet?
The room.
Gilandra swings open her large gilded door, decorated, if you recall, by 2 nymphs, bushels of fruit in hand. Very much iconic of the name. Swinging the door open, she wears her usual revealing attire, her silver decorative mask covering half her face. Cain. Oh, what a grand sight for tired eyes. She looks you up and down into the sack in your hand. Oh, and always with the spoils I request. Come in.
I'll go in.
All right. She closes the door and replaces the latch, locking it. There is a sweet scent in the air. Now, while Gilandra loves her incense, there is a certain perfume that she gets imported from a faraway land that has a very specific smell. And it's one that Cain has come to associate with his close friend ever since she became the matriarch of this brothel. It is one that signifies her power, her grace, and her beauty. Well, I trust my findings were correct, Cain. Were you able to get what we needed from Morin?
I'm gonna roll my eyes and just be like, you know that I wouldn't be here if the job wasn't done. It's not often that I come to tell you that I couldn't do something. And I'm gonna put the sack of stuff on the table.
Ah, yes. You don't often disappoint me, dear. She brushes the back of her fingers on your jawline.
So, are you all caught up with work again? You look not as tired as the last time I was around.
Oh, I have the feeling I'm about to get a lot of good rest. She opens the sack and pulls out that which you had acquired. A solid platinum statuette. One in the shape of a forgotten god. One worth quite a lot of coin to the right buyer. She holds it up in the candlelight. Ah, what people buy for such trinkets. She then places it on her desk. Did I just say what people buy for such trinkets? Is that what I just said?
Yes.
What people would spend for such trinkets. Placing it on her desk. Well, I would say that this is most certainly cause for celebration, because now it seems our financial troubles are behind us. She opens a heavy wooden door, revealing a temperature-controlled cabinet with many bottles of wine. She seems to peruse them. What do you think, Cain? Something sweeter tonight, or maybe a more rich flavor? She casts an eye at you over her shoulder.
With the notion that I'm staying now with an invite, I'm gonna kind of perk up a little bit. Why don't you pick your favorite?
Oh, always the gentleman, Cain. She pulls one of the bottles from the top and inspects it. Something sweeter tonight, I think. Approaching the love seat and table, she places the bottle down, grabbing a few glasses, and then removing the silver decorative mask from her face, placing it on a stand on her night table. She caresses the skin for a moment, turning to you. Gilandra's face, a symbol to her of a life she no longer lives, and a reminder of where she came from. The scars on the side of her face, something that she wishes not to be seen. Thus, the concealment behind something so elegant and pure as silver. She hands you an apparatus to open the wine bottle and holds her glass aloft.
I'll open it and serve her.
Thank you, dear. I want you to know, Kelp, I really appreciate you, and I love your real time commentary on the scene.
Don't look at her, Xavier. Don't look
But
at her.
I
Get in
also
game
want you to
mode.
know. I also want you to know you are in the center of the screen for this episode. Okay, so doing it
everybody's
the
seeing
entire
it.
time is a little different than, you know,
No,
occasionally.
Kelp, you commit to it. You do whatever you want. Just know that you're full screen, baby. You do you, boo.
Don't worry.
Don't
Don't
listen
worry.
to him.
I'll edit this out.
Don't listen to him. He won't edit it out.
So, thank you, Ken. She takes a long sip of the glass and places the glass down. And then she sits on the seat beside you, kicking up her feet, the dress that she's wearing sliding down to her mid-thigh, and she rests her legs on your lap, leaning back on the arm of the of the love seat. It feels like it's been ages since I've been able to kick my feet up.
Well, I'm glad that this has put you in such a state where you feel like you can finally relax. And honestly, it's been nice to actually see you let your hair down a little.
Oh, yes, I suppose I have been a little uptight recently. I do apologize, dear. She grabs the wine glass and continues to drink from it. You know, it's funny thinking about the last time I was able to relax. I had sent you on such a wild goose chase.
I mean, if we're going to talk about that, I can say it, right? That I'm still on that wild goose chase. Come on, Gilandra. Like, you have to know.
Oh, that one. Well, that seems to be the ongoing quest, doesn't it?
Yeah, and maybe one that's not even real. So I'm gonna kind of scoot next to her, like sliding in to get closer and try and level with her. I just think that you are worth so much more than any of that anyways, right? You shouldn't be spending your time chasing after fantasy.
She holds the wine glass up to her face, looking at her reflection in it. She pushes and pulls on her face, examining the wrinkles of time on her flesh.
I'm gonna reach over and lower her cup. No, don't.
Well, Cain, while she places the glass down, while I am very pleased with what I've been able to build here for the ladies and the legacy that I surely would leave behind, there's just so much of life that I would like to enjoy, and I don't wish to see it end anytime soon.
And don't you think that you're missing any enjoyment you could be taking into your day-to-day? Chasing after fantasy?
Oh,
Thinking about this?
but when I achieve it, won't it all be worth it?
What if you don't achieve it? What if that is the one thing I can't get you?
But Cain, you always get what I need. She leans forward and places a gentle kiss on your chin.
As long as you need me, I'll follow whatever leads that you believe you need me to follow. But listen, I just think we could be better. It could be better for us if I stayed here with you and the women here, right?
Oh, there are no large threats facing my little brothel. Nothing more than the financial requirements of operating business here. Lord's Alliance taxes seem to be increasing by the day. But, regardless, I'm trying to relax here, Cain.
I know. I'm sorry I brought any of it up. I just sometimes feel like we don't even get to talk anymore. And I don't know. I just know that you just shouldn't even be thinking about you aging and dying and staying, and you're so much better than that, and you have so much more to offer the world than fleets of fancy, I guess.
She lets out a heavy sigh, picking her legs up off of you and turning to sit naturally on the seat. I suppose. I mean, this whole place itself is no large achievement, I guess.
We can't say that. It is the large achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. But that's what I'm saying. Why can't you take pride in this? And this is the life that you wanted, right? You don't want to be a lord. You don't want to be a married woman. You don't want anything else.
No, of course not. Please, serve anybody else but myself, of course. I would never do that. Join the Lords of Waterdeep, a bunch of fools bickering with one another about what laws to enact today, what taxes to pass tomorrow. I would never be beholden to them. She stands, crossing the room. I had just hoped to celebrate the small wins with you, Cain.
I'm gonna stand up, and we can. We can celebrate tonight, and then, I'll go back on my way. I'll find whatever it's out there to help you get your answers. That's what I'll do. If it helps you rest any easier tonight, just forget I said anything about it.
I suppose my bed has been quite cold of late.
Well, I don't know if that's an invite for me, because I'm cold-blooded, but I wouldn't mind spending the night if you need company.
She walks over to the table, picking up the bottle, refilling her glass, and topping up yours. Let's keep the conversation light. She continues to sip, and then wanders over to her bed. Quite large bed. A frame on it that suspends drapery, very fine, thin drapery, and the sheets, a imported silken texture. She lounges on the bed and invites you over.
I'll go over. Kane's in love with her. What do you think he's gonna do?
The two of you spend the next hours talking about the past, reveling in previous glories and achievements with one another, and you see a brightness in her eyes, and she does not refrain from letting a few true smiles come out, the corners of her eyes creasing with a natural beauty. And as you finish off a bottle or two, you find your eyes becoming heavier as the night wanes on.
I'm not gonna say. I don't want to risk spooking her. I'm not saying anything.
And we will now pass the night. The next day, you awake, and Gilandra is not in her room. She's not beside you. However, there is a note. A simple request for you today, dear. Get me that herbal mixture that does so help with the morning migraine. I believe Geke at the Twig and Sprig has some in stock.
I'll crumple up the paper, stuff it in my pocket, and get the fuck out of there.
All right.
And head to this. If you guys didn't know, I'm going to the Sprig place for her cream or whatever she's getting.
Well, speaking of the Twig and Sprig, Phoebe, that morning you awoke with a relative pep in your step. You are very excited for your day with Geke today, because today she's going to teach you how to make an herbal remedy for trenchfoot.
Gosh, oh my gosh. And she's going to run around her room and she's going to get all her things and put it in her bag and she's going to just make sure her hat's on right and she's going to run out the door.
All right. You make your way to the Twig and Sprig as fast as your little legs will carry you, and you get there before the door even opens. Geke arrives after you, pleased as ever to see you. And as she approaches to unlock the door, I'm going to try and recall her voice for a moment. What was it? It was very high, kind of airy.
Like, yeah.
Phoebe!
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, little lower.
Phoebe?
It's more like a throaty, like a channeling a
Phoebe!
meepo for a second.
Phoebe? Phoebe?
It's less and more like,
Really?
Yeah. That's the best I can describe
I
it.
should have done
We
some
need a clip.
fucking
We need a clip
research.
from the
Yeah.
other Twitch channel, the Twitch episode, so we could just be like, here's each fucking voice.
Here's each voice.
Here's a voice file.
Yeah, I need a fucking,
I might be remembering it wrong. Who knows?
I need like a reference map.
Yes. All of it, last drop.
Oh, yes. Yes. There it is. All I had to do was hear it.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Geke.
Phoebe, it's so good to see you so early in the morning.
I'm really excited.
She unlocks the door and you enter into the wonderful, familiar scent of herbs and spices and incense. Well, today I have something wonderful to show you. You know, lots of soldiers out on the field, they walk through a lot of muddy water, and they have to walk through some awful things. Their leather shoes don't do a good job of airing them out, and they get some bad infections on their feet.
Oh no, that sounds terrible.
So, I have been ordered by the Lord of Neverwinter to make a large batch of a remedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would definitely love to learn how to make that and make what you need to supply the order.
Perfect. I would have expected nothing less. And over the course of the next hour, let's say, she shows you how to make the mixture and you recreate it yourself, naturally gifted, of course. And you two get to work, starting to fulfill this order for the Lord of Neverwinter and his soldiers. You hear the bell jingle above the door as somebody enters into the Twig and Sprig. "We'll be right with you," Geke calls, finishing up one of the little batches that she's making. She then looks at you, Phoebe. Do you feel comfortable seeing another customer? I know yesterday was a little intimidating.
Yeah, it was a little much, but I think I'm a little bit more confident now. If I need any help, I'll come get you.
I have full confidence, Phoebe.
All right, I'm on it. Just gonna rush out to the front.
All right. Cain, as you enter the Twig and Sprig, it is not your favorite scent. A lot of scents going on at once, and your heightened smell makes it a bit of an assault on the senses. But you see your little friend, Phoebe, rushing out from the back, parting a suspension of several lines of beads that leads to the back room.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh, Cain! And I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna give him a hug.
I'm just gonna be like, did you get a job in Waterdeep?
Well, yeah, kind of. It's more of like an apprenticeship, and I'm working with Geke because she knows a lot about herbs, and she met my mom one time, and she's teaching me a lot of cool things. And what are you doing here?
I'm picking something up. Also, where's Temin? Doesn't he stay with you or something?
Oh, yeah, Temin. Well, we normally stick together, but he was working here with me for a little bit, and then he kind of looked at me at the end of one of our days, and he was like, I'm gonna go take a walk. And he's been walking ever since, and he hasn't come back. So I hope he's okay.
Sounds like Temin, and it sounds like he probably is still walking. However, I don't know how I feel about you being alone in this city. No one's bothering you, right?
I mean, not at all. I have a really nice room at this inn down the road. I have Geke, and I have Booker. So I'm not entirely alone.
And you're working here for the most part all day, right?
Yeah, for a good part of the day.
Okay. I'm gonna reach in my pocket and pull out the crumpled piece of paper and put it on the desk. I need this.
She's gonna take the crumpled paper and she's gonna fold it out.
I imagine literally just like, here, this is what I need.
Like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Yep, you unfold it and you see, I mean, it's a note written to Cain, but it references an herbal remedy that she is requesting for essentially a hangover.
Oh. Yeah, we've had a couple of people come in here requesting the same thing on the weekends, so I'm pretty familiar with this one. And Phoebe's just gonna start walking around the store, and she's gonna like try to think on her mental checklist and start grabbing things, and she climbs up a ladder and she grabs it and comes back down and she crouches and she's picking things.
So in Geke's shop, just to reframe it for all of you, she has several dried herbs hanging from the ceiling. She has a few of those like spice pyramids where they're stacked up with like a scoop in a bag, and she has little cubbies that have dried herbs, and she's got fresh herbs, and she has those like file drawers, those little small wooden ones that you pull out, and they've got little written names on them. So as Phoebe is running around the shop putting together this remedy, she brings all of the herbs over to a mixing bowl, a mortar and pestle of sorts, and blends it together appropriately, partitioning it out and packaging it very professionally.
And she's gonna write a little note, and she's gonna say, "Hope you feel better," and then like with the little heart, and she's gonna put it underneath the little rope knot that she put on the box.
Nice.
So are you also alone in the city? You're not with Ko?
I was around when Ko wants to be around, right? And I live here, so I know all the roads, I know a lot of the people, and I don't mind be bopping around alone. And it's not that I'm worried about being alone, it's that I worry about Is her teddy bear anywhere?
Booker is currently fastened onto her back over her shoulders like a backpack.
I'm gonna look at her teddy bear and then look back at her. Try not to be obvious, but it was definitely obvious. Safety. So, that's all.
Well, everyone's been pretty nice so far, and on my way back in the evenings, everyone, waves and they smile and yeah, and everyone in the inn is really nice, and they play music sometimes, and I've gotten to know the bartender pretty well, because sometimes he'll leave out a glass of milk for me and I can bring it up to my room. But yeah, I'm okay.
Good. I'm glad that this is your experience in Waterdeep. Anyways, I'm gonna take the package. And do you know how much I owe you?
Yeah, no, that's gonna be 2 silver pieces and a hug.
She's swindling you. That's massively overpriced.
Damn. God, I've never had to use this hug thing before. I'm just gonna be like scratching my neck, like okay, fine. A quick hug. A quick hug. Looking over my shoulder. Quick hug.
She's gonna run over. She's gonna hug him.
Okay, I'm gonna hug her. I'm looking around like, okay, no one's gonna hug.
Perfect. You have your little exchange of coin and affection. And then you hear the beads part as Geke comes out from the back, and she looks right at you, Phoebe. Oh no!
What's wrong?
I completely forgot! I told you that I knew where Shrine of Eldath was.
Oh.
Yeah! Yesterday, when we were sorting through the files, at least I think I told you.
See, I'm trying to remember now because I don't know if you know this, but my memory isn't the greatest and I mix up names a lot, so you might have said Eldath and I might have thought, I don't know, something else.
Well, I know your mother was a follower of Eldath.
Mm-hmm.
And since you're looking for her, perhaps heading to the shrine would be helpful in your search.
That would be more than helpful. That would be amazing.
Well, I think I've got the order covered for today.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, this is much more important.
Okay, only if you're sure. No, but I would love to head out as soon as I can.
Yes, I'll make you a small map.
Oh, perfect.
She then grabs some parchment and a quill and draws like Waterdeep and then like some lines.
She's gonna be looking right over her shoulder, like peeking around both shoulders. She's like, what you got? What you got for me?
I'm also just trying to nonchalantly pay attention to where she's directing her.
But of course, she has some lines pointing to the east, where you pass over a small river and head to a collection of trees, like a small forest / grove, right here.
Oh, okay. How long do you think it'll take to get there by foot?
Not very long, maybe half a day.
Oh, that's too easy. Okay, perfect. I just needed to know so I could get my supplies in order and figure out what I needed. But that's perfect. Okay, awesome.
You can't miss it. Once you start heading east and cross over the river, you'll be able to see the tree line. I can't recall specifically where in the woods the shrine is, but perhaps you'll be guided there. I know the gods are pretty quiet these days, but you're looking for your mom.
I am, and hopefully they'll know that I'm looking for her and have their eyes on me. But regardless, I'm excited to explore the area.
Absolutely. And don't worry, it's a peacetime. You shouldn't have to worry about bandits this close to the city.
Oh, I don't know. We were heading to Baldur's Gate the other day and we ran into this rat person, but now they're a baker now, so it should be fine. Did you see
exactly? Wait a minute. What is going on here? I'm sorry that I'm definitely eavesdropping and paying attention very closely to everything you guys are talking about. But I need to know, you're really going to send Phoebe here, out there, alone, with this crudely drawn map. Let me see that thing. Let me see that.
Oh, here you go.
I'm going to look at it. Out here, with this, I'm going to give it back to Phoebe. With this crudely drawn map. You really? Come on.
Well, she's not sending me. She's telling me where this
Phoebe,
thing is.
Shush.
Well, I know that Phoebe is very capable of taking care of herself. She's traveled so far herself since looking for her mother. And I also know about, you know who. She looks down at Booker.
All right. Okay, fine. Yes, she's got this thing. that protects her and keeps her safe. However, she's been traveling with a warforged who's also been helping her keep her safe. And
Yes, Temin!
exactly. And do you see Temin? So maybe
He went for a walk the other day, right?
He did, and he hasn't come back.
I'm sure he's fine.
I know, he's plenty capable.
He's probably going to be back on his walk soon enough, and then you guys can all go walk there together. Does that sound great, right?
I don't know, like, I don't want to miss the opportunity. What if she's there now, and I missed her just by a couple hours when I could have been there a couple hours when I should have been there?
Okay. I get it. I'm going to look at who owns this place. What's her name?
Geke.
Okay. Geke, is there any way you can send for a messenger and bring this to the Gilded Nymph for Gilandra? And I'm going to give her the headache stuff.
Like get a courier to send it?
Like, I don't know. Don't you got somebody other than Phoebe working here that maybe can run down the way
I
for
can
you?
run over and give it to her.
No.
Nope,
okay.
just me. There is a courier service down the way.
All right, never mind. Phoebe, when is your shift done?
It should be in about... How long until my shift is done?
Oh, you're dismissed for the day, Phoebe.
Oh, right, because you said you'd take the order, and... Okay.
Mm-hmm. I can handle it. And Never Ember's paying enough money that I can close the shop for today.
Okay, can I give you a gold to make up for the hours I'm missing?
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Geke. I'll see you in a little bit. And she's gonna start heading out the door.
Have
I'm
fun,
following
Phoebe and friend.
Sorry, we never introduced you!
I'm leaving with Phoebe.
You seem to know each other, so she trusts you.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. You, as I'm following Phoebe out, you can't be serious. You're just gonna go out to this shrine in this place. I get it. You're looking for your mom. Your mom could be there, but like, Phoebe.
Cain, have you ever seen my mom?
She's hot.
Well then, if that's what. Wait a minute. No, I'm just back up. I'm just kidding. On the other hand, let's go now. Hold on.
Let's go. Why did you say so?
All right, you know what? Get on my back. Let's just get there. So anyways, I've never seen your mom. And from the sounds of it, have you ever seen your mom?
Yeah, I did. The last time I saw her, I want to say was maybe, oh gosh, time is weird. Time is a construct I don't really understand.
About a year ago?
A year ago, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, maybe more.
As she's talking, I'm going to grab her hand and start walking to the Gilded Nymph. Keep talking. You're talking.
Oh, I wasn't used to you holding my hand, so I was really excited and I didn't know what to do. But yeah, so like a year and a half, 2 years, and then she took off kind of on a walk like she did with Temin, but then Temin hasn't come back from his walk, so who knows if I'm gonna have to go looking for him next. But I have to find my mom first. But no,
Fine.
she's a wonderful lady, so I really want to see her and tell her about all the things I've been doing and wondering what she's been doing.
That's fine. I'm going to just finish my errand, throw this at the gate of the place it belongs, and we can get going now, just in case she's there.
Are
And
you
it's not And it's not because I think she's hot. I just want to make sure that you're safe is all.
All right, well, I'm really glad that you'd offer, but I don't want to put you out of the way if you were in the middle of something.
I'm still holding her hand and walking.
Only if you're sure.
All right.
I'm just holding her hand and walking.
So, yes, you return to the Gilded Nymph. One of the guards standing out front. Let's say it's Eric again. I believe he was one of them.
Yeah.
He regards you. Cain.
Hey, Eric, I'm just still holding Phoebe's hand. I'm just swinging by.
Babysitting duty?
Don't worry about it. I'm just swinging by. I'm going to reach in my pocket, get the stuff. Give this to Gilandra. Just make sure it gets to her.
Yeah, you got it, man.
I'll be back when I'm back. Just That's how
We
it
know how
goes.
it goes.
And I'm gonna just nod my head and go on my way with Phoebe.
Okay.
Holding Phoebe's hand.
Phoebe's gonna look back and be like, okay, bye.
I'm gonna tell her to get the map out too, so we know which gate we're gonna hit up to get out of here.
Okay, so she takes her left hand and she's digging through her bag and she's getting out the map and she holds it up.
Based on the crudely drawn map, you can tell that you are going to be heading east, so you would have to exit through the... from here, the northeastern door would be the closest. Okay. Northeastern gate, rather.
Also, I want it to be noted that Cain is kind of being... Like, it's obvious, if you guys have been watching this, Cain is being slightly overprotective of Phoebe now that we're in a lone group, so that is definitely how he's behaving.
Cain's never held my hand before.
As you travel through the northern portion of Waterdeep, you're approaching the gate to begin your little adventure to find the Shrine of Eldath, when you are approached by two guards. Cain, you recognize them. One is Josiah, a middle-aged guard. He has always been prim and proper, and nothing but cordial to you. The other is Kara, who is a newer recruit, but you know, so long as she continues to be with Josiah, she should be taught properly on how to be a upstanding guard. Josiah approaches you and regards you. Cain?
I'm gonna nod and just very respectfully return the,
I hope you're doing well these days.
Hey, you probably heard through the grapevine how well I'm doing, right?
Well, unfortunately, I've heard many things through the grapevine. He casts a few eyes around. Francis has gone mad.
Yeah, that's not news, buddy. He's gone mad long ago.
No, but after his punishment, he's on a warpath. He's getting all the guards together that have anything ill to say about you or Dragonborn.
Yeah.
They're planning something, and I don't like it.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the note, but I'm not worried. Francis is, well, you know.
Yes, I do know. And just a friendly warning. Keep your eye out. Don't end up anywhere where you might get cornered. He
I'm just
looks down.
gonna narrow my eyes, yeah.
He looks down at Phoebe. Probably best for the sake of you and your companions these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe remind Francis that if any of my companions get touched, he's gonna have bigger problems. He knows if he's got a problem, he's got it with me.
Oh yeah. We know.
And hey, as I'm gonna turn to walk away, I know it's hard being seen with me and whatever, and I know why we can't ever really talk, but thanks for looking out.
Anytime, friend. You know
And
we go way back.
And I'm gonna keep going to the
Okay.
gate.
All right. You continue and you head out the gate. You will have to go a little south to the bridge that crosses over the river to continue east. Your travel will take you a couple of hours. Any conversations you would like to have on your way?
Hey, Cain.
Hey, Phoebe.
Is that guy that guy was talking about earlier, that guy who was really mean to you in the middle of the street when we were trying to be inconspicuous?
Oh, you were talking about Francis. Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh. Well, why is he so mean to you?
Isn't that a great question that I myself, I'd love to give you a better answer. The answer I have won't make you happy. And the answer I have can't fix it.
Hmm.
Do you want that answer?
An answer's still an answer.
Here's the thing. People like Francis, they can know everything about you and hate you. They can know nothing about you and still hate you. Francis has always hated me.
Well, that's not very nice. It seemed like that gentleman got along just fine with you, and he was, I'm assuming, a part of the same occupation that he was.
Yeah, isn't it unfortunate?
Well, I would say
Group.
so.
Of individuals that's supposed to represent safety and protection for all.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually only few of them doing their job.
Yeah, that's why, that's one of the things that my mom taught me before she, went on a long walk, was the reason why we live in a small village was because we didn't have people like that who are supposed to be one thing, but they're really another. It's easier to tell who's who when it's small.
That's true. Larger numbers brings up that percentage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I guess I can say that I'm glad that you've had that experience. Unfortunately, you've seen it in Waterdeep. The guards, there are more dirty guards than there are good ones.
Like they don't bathe.
Like they don't stand up for actually what they stand for. Like when that guy, Eros, the innocent guy, who did nothing wrong, was being mugged. And the group of guards did not do anything, right? Because
The irresponsible ones. Mm-hmm.
it didn't benefit them. They
But-
didn't care.
That's their whole. No, that's just
That's-
wrong.
Kane's just gonna laugh. That's the dilemma, isn't it? So, when the guards give me shit, I just deal with it. Because it's part of Waterdeep. And it's a corrupt system that is working itself out. So all I can do is protect my hide until then.
Do you really think it's working itself out?
Oh, God, no. I mean, maybe. The general they have now is more respectable than the ones that they had prior, but that's the problem, isn't it? All the guys from the last leader still sticking around.
Mm.
But who knows? If there's a little hope, then, you know what? Maybe one day it'll be cool. But right now it's not. So I just go day to day until it's cool, right?
That's very optimistic of you, Cain.
I wouldn't call it optimistic. I'd call it realistic.
I don't know. I feel like in any situation where hope is involved, it leans a little more towards this side of optimism rather than a neutral ground.
Well, I can be hopeful, but it doesn't mean I believe it's going to happen, so.
That's fair too. And she's gonna reach in her pouch and she's gonna pull out a fruit that she's had in her bag, and it's like kind of old. It looks kind of old, and she's just gonna peel it and she's gonna like almost put it in her mouth. And she's like, "Do you want some?"
No thanks. I'm okay.
It's really good.
I have a feeling if I don't take it, you're probably just going to keep asking me until I take it.
Yes, I am.
I'll take it.
It's a dried fruit, and it's surprisingly good if you like citrusy things. And she's also gonna tear off a piece for herself and pop it in her mouth.
Kane's not picky, so he's fine. He probably enjoys it.
It's not dried jerky. It's okay.
All right. So you make conversation as you continue towards the tree line, which you can see as you are crossing over the river, just as Geke had said. And as you approach the trees and enter into this small collection of woods, Phoebe, do you carry a symbol of Eldath?
She does not.
Okay. You continue inwards a little ways, at first very confident of the direction you are traveling. But as you continue to pass similar-looking trees, and there does not appear to be any shrines about or any clearings, you start to ponder what direction to head next.
Okay, I have a solution. I'm going to start naming the trees, and when I pass by them, I will be sure to recognize them because they'll have names. But they're all twins. Okay. She's going to close her eyes, and she's going to spin in a circle, and she's going to point her hand out. And she's just going to stop at some point and be like, all right, so we're going to try this direction. Maybe.
Both of you give me a nature check.
Do. That was almost
Threw
a
my
nat
dice
20. I'm so angry.
Sure.
D&D Beyond Dark mode.
Wow,
failed.
her spin move worked.
It's very fitting, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, I got a 19. So,
Oh, I got a 2.
girl, I rolled an 18. I went +1, so it worked out
So
somehow.
Phoebe spins around, and then that way. She's pointing in the direction from which you came, Ken.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, I don't think so. I'm gonna take the map from her.
Oh, okay.
As you're looking at the shape of woods that Geke had drawn, you have a feeling that what you're looking for is probably within the center of this overgrowth. So you'd probably need to continue maybe a little northeast.
All right, I'm gonna kind of bend down and go. I think we're gonna go that way.
Oh, what makes you say that?
I'm gonna hand her the map and go start walking that way.
Instinct. Super cool.
As you continue, Phoebe, give me a perception check.
All right. You got it, boss. It's a 15.
You hear a vaguely familiar voice off in the distance. Phoebe.
And she's just going to kind of move in that direction. She's not going to say anything yet.
You continue forward, and you find that your pace hastens, and you move past Cain, who was leading the way. Phoebe. The voice still is ahead of you.
She's still not going to say anything. She's just going to pick up the pace.
Phoebe?
Phoebe presses onward, seemingly determined, brushing off your questioning expression.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm just kind of like, okay, just watching her, just keeping up watching her.
As you press forward, you see the trees ahead of you begin to lessen, and you come out into a small clearing. It is about just past midday, and the sun is coming through the open sky down on this clearing and casting light on a shrine. There is a spring in front of you. The water's a crisp, clear blue. You can smell the freshness of the water. There is a peaceful tone and air around you. And in the center is right at the foot of the spring is a stone shrine to Eldath. Her symbol carved onto it of the pool of running water. You recognize it as your mother wore a medallion of the same symbol. And then you hear the familiar voice again. Phoebe.
Hello? It's me. It's Phoebe. Hi. And she's just gonna kind of keep her eyes open and just be really gentle as she walks around.
Cain, you don't hear anything other than a gentle breeze. Maybe there's a small trickle of water that falls into the spring. But as you see Phoebe look around, you stand there like, okay, well, we found this thing.
So I'm just going to do my bodyguard thing, and I'm just going to cross my arms and watch her. I'm not going to bother her.
Okay. Phoebe, growing at the base of this stone is a flower. And looking at the flower brings back a particular memory. This is your mother's favorite flower. A magenta hue to the petals, matching that of her hair.
Okay, so Phoebe's gonna kind of approach the pool, and she's just gonna take Booker, and she's gonna sit him down next to her, right in front of the pool, and she's gonna sit right next to him, and she's just gonna close her eyes and take a deep breath and say a little prayer, just sending her energy out into the space. Some time's gonna go by, and I don't know if Cain's just gonna keep watching.
Well, actually,
Oh.
as you sit and speak your prayer, the flower begins to glow. A soft light at first. And then the light seems to overtake the surroundings, swelling up around you. And both you and Cain find yourselves swathed in this light.
This is the music that jump scared me earlier.
Is it playing right now?
What?
Because,
Well,
No,
it popped in for a second,
popped in
and then
it's
it
gone.
gone out.
well, guess what
Yeah.
broke as usual?
No, it did not.
Syrinscape. Doesn't let you play the music that you planned before the session.
You'd think the basic function would be functional.
It was
For
at
that
this
purpose.
point in Phoebe's prayer that she broke the world around her, and the world fell into peace. The end. Good
Oh
job,
my
everyone.
god! What do you mean? Stop
right.
that!
Bring it in. You both become enveloped in this light. And then you see a figure ahead of you. A silhouette. Feminine. Tall. And you hear the voice again. Oh, my child, it has been too long. Stepping forward, Cain, you see the figure is a tall woman with magenta hair and fair features. She wears the garb of a priestess, and the symbol that is inscribed on the stone is also on her garb. And she steps forward, and as the light fades away and your surroundings come back, she continues to have a radiant shimmer about her as she stands there in the grove. She smiles and holds out her arms.
Phoebe's gonna get up, but she's gonna run toward her. She's gonna give her the biggest hug she can, if she can.
Mm-hmm. She returns the hug, and she's there.
And Phoebe's just gonna start kind of crying. I missed you so much.
Oh, my sweet child. She tousles your hair. I'm sorry that I left in the way that I did.
Did I do something wrong?
No.
Was there something you had to go do?
She drops down to her knees. She places a hand under your chin, holding your head high. Of course not, dear. I love you so very much. It's just, I have many responsibilities. And for many years, my responsibility was that of your mother. And I believe that I have done a great job in that, if I do say so myself.
You should hear everyone. I'm a hoot.
She wipes the tears from your face. But I have another responsibility, dear. One to my goddess. I've never told you this, but I am a high priestess of Eldath.
Oh, that's a big responsibility. Why didn't you take me with you? Why can I help? Can I come with you? Can I?
Well, you see, your path is different than mine, dear. You are special in ways that you do not yet know. And that I hope do not reveal themselves anytime soon. But I do hope that you continue to hold my teachings. But understand when I tell you this. I have appeared to you now to warn you.
Well, warn me about what? Is it the things that I'm not supposed to know now and later, or are you in trouble?
She smiles, her face devoid of deep creases as she does. And she looks up at Cain, fully acknowledging his presence. You've made some wonderful friends.
Mm-hmm.
There are things stirring in this world, Phoebe. The peace that we strive so hard to maintain is about to be threatened. The gods are too far removed from this world to make any major action themselves. And perhaps I speak out of turn by saying such.
Well, I'll stand right next to you and I'll shout at the top of my lungs if I have to get them involved. if it means you'll come home.
Oh, child. I am always home. I'm right with you. Every day. No, seriously, my spirit is right beside you. She looks at Booker. You may not know this, but I've imbued your teddy bear with a spirit of protection. Hopefully you've not had to see it, but I promise you, he will be there for you if you ever need him.
Oh, trust me, He's done a really good job.
Oh, well, good. Glad to know that it works.
Yeah, it was wild the first time, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to calm him down, but, he did. I could tell he loved me.
Well, I knew that you weren't ready. And that is why he is here. I am not so sure if you are ready yet, but the world will not wait for you. Being a champion of the peace, we cherish the non-violent path. You see a weight seem to fall on her and her expression. And she holds her hands on your shoulders, still on her knees at your level. Phoebe, I had prayed you would never have to, and that through our efforts you would continue to live in peace to the end of your days. But you are going to have to fight for that peace. You and your companions are going to face some great dangers. I have foreseen it, as have the gods. And when that moment comes, you need to understand that in protecting life, you must do all you can. And that does not mean you have betrayed yourself or me. I know it's a lot to hear.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm a tiny person.
I know, dear. But you are so very special. In ways you will learn. She caresses your face. She then stands and regards you, Cain. What an unlikely companion.
He's a really good guy.
Oh, I know he is. And I know that you know that.
Come here.
Cain. I see within you the spirit of a protector. Just know that we're watching.
I'm standing there with my arms crossed. I say nothing.
Well, my dear, I'm sorry, but the spell does not last forever.
No, you have to stay longer. You can't go.
As I said, I have not left you. And I never will.
Because you're here.
I am here. But not for much longer. My duties require me at my post.
Okay. Well, if I find another shrine, will you come to say hi?
Whenever the darkness finds itself closing in around you, if ever you need me, you shall find me in such places. Come, what have I told you about such things? She wipes the tears from your face again.
I know.
Stand strong. Stand tall.
Okay. And she's just gonna hug her again.
She returns the hug and places a kiss on your forehead. It feels as real as the hug. Be strong, dear. The coming days will require such great strength from the most unlikely of sources. She casts another look at Cain and nods. Be strong.
I will.
And you are once again enveloped in light as she takes a few steps back and waves, becoming a silhouette again and vanishing with the rest of the light. As the grove returns around you, the sun, a little more set on the horizon, casting rich oranges and reds above you.
She's gonna take a deep breath and she's gonna stand up. She's gonna look at Booker. She's gonna give a nod. And she's gonna turn around and look at Cain.
I'm looking at Phoebe.
You see why I had to come see if she was here?
I understand. And that's why I came with you.
She's gonna... Oh,
Sorry.
go for it.
Cain is gonna ask Phoebe if she wants a hug.
She's just gonna walk over and give him a hug.
He'll actually kneel down and give Phoebe a hug.
It was all a ruse. It was all for the hug.
That was actually an illusion spell.
It was an illusion spell. I did it. You got pranked.
Well, as you're hugging Cain, Phoebe, you see out of the corner of your eye the magenta flower still glows.
She's gonna walk over and hold Booker close. And she's just gonna kind of crouch down and debate on whether she should pick the flower or not. I don't know if I should pick you. I don't know if this is where you're meant to be or if you should come with me.
The light begins to slowly fade.
But I'm gonna be selfish this once. And she's gonna take it.
As you pluck the flower from its base, it was bright, and then it started to fade, and then when you plucked it, it stays. Just at that dim emission.
She's gonna tuck it behind her ear and she's gonna nod and dust off the shrine a little bit because there's probably some moss and some leaves and she wants to make sure it's nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna take her flask out of her bag and she's gonna dump it out around the edge of the pool and she's gonna fill the flask with a little bit of water from it.
Very good. It is the clearest water you've ever seen.
Choice.
Now, is there anything else you would like to do in this grove before you return to Waterdeep?
She's just, before she starts walking away, she's just gonna standing, hug Booker a little tight and say a small prayer under her breath and turn back to Cain and so are you ready to go?
I'm just gonna nod.
Good. Me too. Me too. She's just gonna start walking in the wrong direction.
I'm gonna go and grab her hand.
All right. So, you return to Waterdeep. Any particular location you're heading? It is definitely nighttime. Just as Geke said, no bandits outside.
No bandits. Everyone's fine. So where are you staying, Cain? I know you said you live here, but I'd like to see your house or your apartment or wherever you're staying.
I'm just gonna smile. So, you'd like to see my house? I'm gonna start walking through, bringing her to the Gilded Nymph.
Yes! Best dad ever!
Perfect. Perfect. Well, as you are on your way to the Gilded Nymph, you have entered through the closest entrance, which would be the south entrance. And you are heading north to the trades district to the Gilded Nymph. Well, it just so happens that this southern portion is currently the patrol route for some guards. Cain, one of the usual lackeys that gives you a hard time with Francis stands in front of you on the road. And as it is nighttime, there are not many people on the street. And he stands there, crosses his arms, and regards a side road.
I'm gonna try and ignore him.
I think you want to head that way.
I'm going to continue to ignore him.
As you walk past him, he now walks in stride with you, trying to stand, like, in front of you, like, talking to you. No, really, you want to head that way. You don't want to go this way.
Well, why not?
Oh, bad news this way.
What's bad news that way? What's the news?
You don't want to find out?
But I want to be educated so I can tell my friends not to go that way.
You just want to head that way.
But that's not a reason.
You see, he kind of gives, like, a desperate look past both of you.
And you said this is a guy who gives me a hard time a lot. He's not someone I trust.
Mm-hmm.
You should enlighten me very quickly before I decide what I'm about to do next. Why shouldn't I go this way?
Some guards have, decided to post up over there, and I heard some bad stuff.
I'm gonna look over my shoulder really quick, but like throw a very quick glance.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't see anything, it's fine. But within that reaction, I also want to kick his kneecap backwards.
Roll me an attack.
Is it unarmed?
Yeah, roll me an unarmed attack.
Me hyping Amanda up in the chat. Also me.
I got 15.
Okay, so 15 hits. Now, let me describe what goes down here. Real quick, answer the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, why'd you shrink, bitch? That's my question. Answer it. Get tall. Get mean. We gonna throw it down. Let's go. Let's go. This episode is sponsored by Booker's Hands. They about to catch him. Quick. Right now. Throwing down in the streets of Waterdeep. They about to be steep. I'm not Dr. Seuss and I'm not T-Pain, so I can't really give you anything further than that, but I can offer you nothing in return.
I feel like that all worked perfectly.
Okay. Well, thanks for confusing me. So, all right. Well, Cain, You glance over your shoulder, and it's quick, and you're preoccupied with making sure that your attack lands, which it does. There is a sickening crack as his knee bends backwards, buckling behind him. He cries out, "Ah!" as he falls over.
The second I do that, can I pick up Phoebe and just start running?
Well, it's good that you do, because when you glanced behind you, Francis and 5 other guards are now sprinting after you.
Yeah, I got Phoebe like over my shoulder like a little baby, just running. I'm running.
Yep, she doesn't fight it. She's just confused. She's like, oh.
You hear Francis yell out, "Fuck, get him!"
I'm running right to the
How far away are they from us?
They are about 15 feet behind you, running at about the same pace, keeping up with you. The cries of pain from the first guard are starting to vanish as Cain continues to push his strength and sprint ahead.
I'm gonna guide Cain.
Perfect. Cain, you're starting to lose them. They're getting behind you. You hear many expletives and curses from Francis, and a few of the guards now pull out their blow darts, and a few fly past you, and you hear them hit walls or fall on the cobblestone at your feet. A few people are in the streets, and they see this, and they stand out of the way wide-eyed, looking at you and looking at the guards, only assuming the worst.
Phoebe's waving at the passerbys while she's being carried. She's like, "Yep."
I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna get in there and like just dive into the door in that area as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so
it's my only sanctuary, so I gotta
the
go there.
Gilded Nymph is in sight, and as you are approaching, suddenly a cart drawn by 2 mules flies in front of you, blocking your path. You have to skid to a stop as 3 guards jump off the cart, weapons drawn, and stand in your way.
Did Francis catch up?
Oh, they're catching up.
How far away are they?
Probably about 30 feet.
Calm emotions.
Okay. Calm emotions.
Charisma 14.
Okay. You're not going to believe me.
Did they all succeed? Because that would make sense.
So far, except for 1, they have all succeeded.
I'm not mad at that.
Those were some high rolls.
I'm not mad at that. That makes sense for the situation.
So, they continue sprinting. One of them is kind of like, wait, should we be doing this? And you see him slow down. And he's like, wait, guys, I don't think we should. And then one hucks a dagger at him, and it glances off his shoulder. What the fuck? The 3 guards that are now impeding your path with the carriage take a step closer. You know what this is, Cheddar.
I'm gonna be like, and you know you can't do this, and I'm gonna try and dart around them.
One jumps in front of your way and makes an attack. With a critical hit.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Shit.
I want to be sure if he hits me, because I am, knowingly, I'm at a disadvantage being weighed down. I want to make sure I turn the opposite side that I'm holding Phoebe, so he hits that side.
Okay. So, he hits you for 14 points of damage.
I'm trying to find it.
5, 4, 3,
Bounding
2.
Overwatch reaction. No.
See, this is what happens when you don't have combat in a few episodes. I'm
No,
just trying to
I'm
keep
not a
you fresh.
combative person.
Just trying to keep you fresh. Well, all it does is increase
their AC by 1d6. So if it's a 6, it might help.
Okay, sure. That doesn't affect this attack, but yeah.
Well, damn it.
What's my
Why
points of
don't
damage?
you go ahead? Huh?
I said, what's my points of damage?
14. Why don't
Okay.
you go ahead and roll a d6, and then that'll be temporary AC for Cain for the rest of this encounter. How long does it last again? Bounding Overwatch. Oh, until the start of your next turn. Okay. Good. So, yes,
4.
he swings his sword wildly, and he manages to hit you, Cain. And it draws blood on your side.
Okay. After he hits me, I'm gonna like try and put Phoebe down and tell her to run. I'm gonna point and tell her to run into that place. Go to that place right now. Just go.
Phoebe's gonna put Booker on the ground.
I'm gonna yell at her. Get out of here. They don't want to deal with you.
I don't care. You're my friend, and whatever issue they have with you, they have with me.
Ugh, I'm gonna turn away from her and I'm going to attack the guard that hit me. And I'm going to use not that one. Hold on. Actions. Hold on. Where's my dice? My features and trait. There we go. Okay. Combat check. I want to use my disarming attack on the guy that hit me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and do this as fast as I can. Actually, that's a reaction. I can't do that. No. Maneuvers, disarming attack, no action. When you're hit with a weapon. Okay, when I get hit with a weapon, so after I drop Phoebe, I'm going to, can I use it as a reaction, or is this too late in the combat
I'll let
for
you do it retroactively since you thought it was part of your attack.
Yes, okay.
So he has to make a strength saving throw. He failed on that one. So what happens is he hits you, but like he swings so wildly that while he does connect and damage you, the sword like slips out of his hand and clangs onto the cobblestone street.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to, so that was my reaction, but I don't know the turn order. Can I act, or is that?
Yes, you can make an action right now. We have no turn order.
Okay, good. After I disarm him, I'm gonna fucking grab him by the shoulders and shove him into the other two guys. And
Okay.
if that's too
Make
much of a
me,
big turn, I'll use a second wind if that's okay.
No, make me a strength check.
Okay, strength.
Does she still have guidance?
And add a d4.
14, 15, 16,
17.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Roll a d4.
Oh, wait, do I have to roll D4?
Yes.
Yes. It's a 1.
For one.
For 1.
It actually is a 1.
Well,
No.
18. Well, you do grab the guy and throw him back. The other two guards are rushing up to accompany, trying to overtake you, and he clatters into both of them, slowing them down. Now, Phoebe, Cain just told you to run to the Gilded Nymph, the building just across the way, and in fact, Eric, outside, sees what's happening, has already drawn his sword, and is rushing up.
Okay, cool. She's just gonna stand there and get close to Cain, and she's just gonna be within 5 feet of him and be like, does Phoebe see Eric?
You can hear somebody running up behind you. If you would turn to look, you would recognize the guy that Cain gave the
Okay.
parcel to earlier.
I'm just gonna be like, as I'm making my way over to Cain, because I'm not leaving Cain, I'm gonna look over my shoulder because I hear footsteps. I'm gonna say, I don't think your friends are being very nice. And she's just gonna rest a hand on Cain's calf.
Okay. Are you doing cure wounds?
Yes. Sorry, I always think it's implied.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Being a healer is super stressful. That wasn't a bad roll. That's 10.
All right, 10 HP recovered, Cain. And then you hear the sound of clanking armor behind you, Cain. Francis and his goons are now about 10 feet away. They are reloading their blow darts, and they're about to blow when you see them turn their eyes, a pale color washing over them. You hear metal clanging behind you as a commanding voice yells out, "What in the name of Silverbeard?" Huffing up comes the dwarf, Bammer Hardfall, the captain of the guards in Waterdeep.
I'm gonna grab Phoebe and just remove myself from the situation. I'm gonna try and get around the mules and just get out of there.
You, all of you. What is happening? Why have I heard news of an ambush on a law-abiding citizen? And you, Francis, I have already spoken with you. You see, he's red. He sprinted here from the castle ward. I have already spoken with you on these matters. And now you've gone and rallied this up. Running behind him, catching up, is Josiah. Francis has no words. He falls to his knees, dropping his sword. I cannot ruddy believe that this is happening. Josiah, chain these men up. Drop your weapons. You're all being brought in.
Ooh, they're in trouble. Phoebe said that.
Cain, he then approaches you. Are you alright? I see you've sustained injury. Actually, sorry. I see you've sustained injury.
It's fine.
Yes, you are a big, strong, strapping fellow.
Yeah.
I greatly apologize for this. You will be hearing from us shortly in a way that we can hopefully ease this over with you.
Just make sure nothing happens to Josiah. And I'm gonna start to turn away and usher Phoebe to go with me. But trying to keep her behind me, so it's like, don't worry about her. Just let's go.
As you enter into the Gilded Nymph, you hear behind you the berating of a lifetime, and civilians start to come out and open their windows and come into the street to see what the hell is going on here. Eric regards you as you walk up. What in the hell has gotten into them? I know they've had it out for you, but really? Such a public display?
That guy's been saving an arrow for me for a long time, and hate is a nasty thing, huh?
I'd say. Are you all right? He looks at your wound.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'll be better by morning.
Phoebe's gonna jump up and poke his shoulder and cure wounds.
And I'm gonna look at Phoebe. I get you wanted to stay with me, but what the hell were you thinking?
Would you have left me?
No, but that's different. I can step on almost anything that wants to step on you.
And I can look at anything that can step on me. And I got a mean eye.
Yeah, but your eyes would do better inside your head. So if you just take shelter when I tell you to take shelter and get away from people like that. I don't know, isn't there something you could do from like far away so you don't have to be near me when stuff like that happens?
Well, yeah, but I can also do close range things to make sure that you don't get hurt. And then I don't have to do my healing things. I can be defensive. And so can Booker. Wow, I'm really surprised you didn't go off, buddy. That was a really sticky situation. But it's best that you didn't.
Listen, you and Temin and Co, I tell you guys to stay away from me because it's going to keep you guys safer. And then when I tell you to run, when you clearly can run, you got to run. Okay? Look at me. I'm banged up. I'm scarred up. It's fine. I got a couple more scars. Like I said, they'll heal by morning.
But if I can help it, and as long as you're my friend, I'm gonna make sure that you don't get any more than you have to. Because you're gonna be with me whether you want to or not, because my mom said so. And my mom is a hard woman to please.
Tell that to your father.
So that was really your mom?
She's really pretty, huh?
She is really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was really your mom, then we need to have a talk about something.
Yeah.
But probably not in the doorway of my home while I'm bleeding. So
This is where you live?
yes, so if you had just run in.
She's gonna run inside.
Okay.
Well, inside the Gilded Nymph, Phoebe, you rush in and you are greeted with a nice, airy incense that is heavy in the air, hanging from several censers. You find a lavishly decorated, though dimly lit, little foyer area. There is a bar to your right and several lounge seats to your left. There are doors on the back wall and a hallway that leads off where you cannot see as a thick curtain hangs over it. There are draperies and all sorts of hanging cloths and pillows. This looks like a very comfortable place. Now, there are also people in here. You find several men and women sitting and lounging in said chairs and pillows. There are several women walking around, wearing similar outfits as one another, serving what would be patrons in this building. Standing behind the bar is a short elf woman with auburn hair. And then Cain joins you in the building.
Cain, you did not tell me that your house was this amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that make it amazing. I guess the
I'm-
colors being one of them.
I mean, look at everything. The air is like coated in several different kinds of incense, and everything like complements each other accent wise, and everyone here is really pretty.
Whoa. Don't get me wrong. I don't own this place. I have a free room here, so I basically stay here when I can.
I was like, you have amazing taste.
Nah, you owe that to the lovely ladies that stay within.
Can I meet them?
Speaking of lovely ladies, one of them approaches you. Welcome back, Cain. We had heard there was some commotion out there. Are you okay?
There's always commotion out there. That's why you guys stay in here.
Yeah, precisely. The young woman has darker skin, short, cropped hair. She looks down at Phoebe. Oh, welcome in. Are you together?
Yeah, we're friends.
Oh, that's so precious, Cain. She puts a hand on your chest.
Mhm.
Well, welcome, sweetie, to the Gilded Nymph.
Thank you. I love your establishment. It's beautiful.
It is a very wonderful place. And Cain is a very wonderful guy. You have a very great friend.
Isn't he though? I'm so glad you think so too.
Cain, an injury like that, I mean, at least you're not bleeding this time. But we'll make sure to send something to you.
Good. I'm gonna stay in the lounge a bit with my friend Phoebe.
Oh, of course, yes. They are currently on the hookahs. She gestures to the curtained hallway. You know you're always welcome wherever you wish to be, Cain. And then she makes a small little wave to Phoebe and approaches the bar. and begins to speak with Lillian, who then looks over at Cain and shakes her head.
The ladies love their boy.
So, Cain, you lead Phoebe down the hall to the lounge area. This is a private members area, and you could not have imagined, Phoebe, a room more comfortable than the one that you were currently in. Yet somehow this one surpasses it.
Oh.
It is illuminated by dim fairy lights, a magic you had seen used by Amberdune books. Now here, they are all a soft purple hue, giving a mystical feeling over the entire room, and bringing a relaxed feeling to the air of all of it. Now, the air of incense from the foyer and entryway is replaced by a fruity smokiness in the air of several tall hookahs that are being enjoyed by a few private members of the Gilded Nymph. And there are other lovely ladies attending their patrons here as well. There is a center raised platform where one is currently dancing along to the live band that can still be heard even in this portion of the building.
Whoa. Is this the room you stay in, or is this
No. This is where people come to just relax. Sometimes eat, sometimes drink. Just relax.
Well, why do we never come here? We always go to the tavern, but this is amazing.
The tavern's still nice, and the tavern is suitable for a place that isn't my home.
Oh, I mean, that's true. Technically, you live here, so I understand wanting to get out of the house every now and again. I could stay here for a really long time, though.
Yeah, it's nice, and a lot of people do. It's one of Evan's favorite places, if you could guess.
Just ruined it for her.
Somehow, I've found a way to like it a little less.
Nah, once you start talking to the women, you'll understand.
Well, from who I've already talked to, they're already so sweet.
They're happy to be here. They're happy to be alive, and that's why I love it here so much.
Would it be possible? Do they have, I don't know, a tea set of sorts? I used to have one, and Geke has one, but I didn't take that from her shop because that would be stealing, and I didn't ask her before we left. But do you think they'd have one?
Xavier, they would probably have.
Absolutely,
yes.
they would serve tea here.
Yeah, we can place an order and maybe relax a little, considering we had a very busy day.
Mm-hmm. They could just bring the pot and the cups. I can make something.
Okay.
So you find a nice area to lounge in here. There are no traditional seats. A lot of it is like, imagine those piles of pillows, right? So you would just find a spot comfortable to you.
You mean Phoebe would dive in and disappear?
Yes. She would just be a face surrounded by fluffy pillows.
Her arms pop out for when the tea comes.
All right. Yes, so you find a relaxing spot and enjoy the ambiance for a moment before a woman, let's say Lillian herself, comes out with a tray. On it are 2 tall glasses filled with liquid and what appears to be like a meat and cheese platter. She goes to lower it down, and you see legs kick out of it and stand. And even though you're in a lounged position, it is the perfect height to be able to relax and just grab off the tray. One of the drinks is, of course, a stiff liquor, and the other one appears to be a fruit juice beverage.
Oh, I'm so glad they have the right brand of liquor. No,
That's good. Lillian serves both of you and looks at Cain disapprovingly. Ah, Cain.
Lillian,
What is it you did this time?
I didn't do anything. You know Francis, he's got it out for me. There's a bullet. There's a target on my back. Come on.
Oh, I know you did nothing. Just let me tease you. You're getting too roughed up out there. One day you're gonna have to retire and spend all your time here with us. On that day, I'll quit. She then winks.
I think everyone will quit on that day.
If there's anything you, she smiles at Phoebe, need, don't hesitate to ask.
oh, never. Thank you so much.
And of course. She then goes to leave.
He was gonna
And
take that glass and
Phoebe
just take a
never
sip.
gets her tea.
Did she brought? Oh, I thought she brought it. Jesus, my brain. Actually, there is one thing. Blessed be the DM.
Oh,
Do
yes.
you happen to have like a tea set? But there doesn't need to be anything in it. It just needs to be the tea kettle and then a couple of cups.
Absolutely. I can I can get you a hot kettle and some cups.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Of course. She then departs.
I'm gonna look at Phoebe. I'm gonna cross my arms.
Uh-oh.
So your mom,
Mm-hmm.
did you know?
Did I know?
Did you know that she was a glowing entity that was gonna come down and make you cry?
Oh, well, no. I definitely did not. I mean, my mother's a very, well, I didn't know she was mysterious before, but now she's extremely mysterious. I knew she was powerful and that she had a connection with magic, and obviously raised me with the belief of Eldath and her teachings, but I had no idea how connected she really was. That was shocking, and I mean, we went there to go see if she was there. I just wasn't expecting her to be. It was nice.
So what did you think of what she had to say to you?
Well, I thought that when I eventually found her, I was going to tell her about everything I've done and meeting you guys and how we essentially witnessed a war between kobolds and goblins and how we bridged peace, and then we didn't bridge peace. But anyways, I definitely didn't expect her to do most of the talking. And I definitely wasn't expecting her to say what she did.
Well, it seemed like she did know all that, so you didn't have to tell her. I'm gonna look at Booker all like suspicious.
I know.
Fantasy
I had to
nanny
watch
cam.
Fantasy nanny cam. I'm watching you, kid.
Always watching.
I definitely knew Booker was special, other than, you know, the whole shifting into a giant animal bear thing. But I didn't think that there was much more to him than that. So it's nice to know that there is. Must be why he's always so warm. You look like there's something on your mind.
Well, she said something about that there's something coming. What do you think she meant by that?
Probably something not good. It has to be big enough for her to suddenly leave a really big part of her life without telling me.
Well, it's interesting. She also mentioned that the gods are so far back.
I mean, I've definitely noticed it. That was the first time I've ever gotten a really big reaction after one of my prayers. Of course, it was my mother, so obviously she responded, and it wasn't necessarily Eldath herself, but they have been distant.
Well, I'm not a very spiritual guy, so I don't know what being in touch is anyways.
Has that always been the case for you, or did you have a negative experience?
Nah, not so much with the faith and the gods and stuff. It ends up being, just my day-to-day is my day-to-day. It's exciting, clearly. Get a little banged up, come here for some drinks and healing, and then move on to my next gig.
Is that fulfilling?
It's fulfilling.
Insight check.
It is fulfilling.
No checks on your companions.
Damn it.
I'm going to look at Lillian, and I'm going to just point to her and be like, is it fulfilling seeing her come to the table and smile when I come here? Yes.
Lillian is approaching with the kettle and cups because the bar would not be visible from here, so she's bringing you your tea.
Is it fulfilling knowing that a place like this exists and actually accepts me because I have blue scales and I'm a big guy? Yes. My job is to, quite frankly, protect this place and make sure it stays afloat so other people can be happy, and that makes me happy.
Well, when you put it like that, that definitely sounds more than okay. I mean, I get, sticking to what you know. If it weren't for my mom leaving, I probably would have been content staying in my village and going day to day in the shop. And this is your village, and this is kind of your shop. It's what you do.
It's funny that you say it like that, sticking to what you know.
Oh boy, I know where this is going, maybe.
I mean, listening to your mom. I'm honestly surprised I even saw her. But it sounds like you have some choices to make, huh?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I just don't see myself in a situation where I have to make that decision. It's my healing has always been enough, and my words have most of the time been enough.
Well, then you're lucky.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I envy that. I envy you. I envy you the way you can handle yourself.
Well, in some ways, I envy the way that you take care of yourself, but mostly other people.
Listen, you're small, but you can still kick a guy's kneecaps in if you need to.
I wasn't as tall as his kneecap, I don't think.
Sorry if that was at eye level for you down there, but listen.
It was something else. I didn't like the sound his knees made.
I've heard worse.
Oh.
But, I guess at the point of letting you know why I admire you was because at one point I thought that's how I could live my life.
Really?
Oh yeah, what a joke, right?
I don't think it's very funny.
Well, it's hilarious to think about now.
Well, I wouldn't use the word hilarious. I would say definitely surprising, since you're all and
Yeah, right. I was You're lucky that you have encountered not only people who can be persuaded, but also who you are. I wasn't born in your skin, therefore I wasn't allowed to be kind.
Mm. Well, that's unfair.
And that's the way it is. And that's okay. For me.
Well, I don't think I can accept that 100% anyways.
I don't think I fully accepted it either, but, you know, when I told Temin that I wanted to be part of the city guard, I meant it. I meant it until I realized that that itself was a joke. Trying to think that I could be good and be kind and, you know, just be safe and happy wasn't a realistic thing. No. And do you know why I act quick, Phoebe?
No, but I've been curious.
Some of you, and I've heard, you know, you can describe me to have a short temper.
I'd say not a short temper, but acting with urgency.
Acting quickly. Because there was a time where I did not act quick enough, and it cost somebody else something.
Well, that makes sense. I'm sorry that happened. And I won't go prying for details because it sounds like something very personal. But if you ever want to continue that story, I'm here.
I'm gonna scan the room. Do I see anybody in the room?
There's people here, but you've chosen a spot that's as far as you can be from the rest of them. They seem pretty intent on their drinks and their smoking and the lovely lady dancing in the middle of the room.
Also, question: did Lillian drop off the tea kettle and everything?
She did. It continues
Okay.
to steam in front of you. Lillian dropped
Lovely.
it off, almost made a remark, but saw you were both talking and just nodded and returned to her duties.
So she's just gonna kind of leave the silence where it is for now. She's just gonna kind of occasionally look at Cain with her big ol' eyes, big ol' halfling eyes, and she's gonna. She finished her fruit juice, so she's gonna take the kettle and she's gonna pour out some of the water in her glass and set it off to the side, leaving some water still in the kettle. And she's gonna take out her flask that she took the spring water into, and she's gonna pour that in there and let it settle for a little bit. And she's gonna take the flower from her ear and she's gonna take off the petals after whispering into it, and she's gonna drop them in and let it sit.
The flowers steep in the water, and you see the magenta color fills the liquid.
She's gonna take the cups. I don't know how many cups there are. There are only 2? Are there more than 2? Lovely. She's
Well,
gonna take
2
the-
like teacups.
Yeah, teacups. So she's gonna put one in front of her, and then she's gonna go over there and put one in front of Cain, and she's gonna take the kettle, pour out some for herself, and then pour some in the cup in front of Cain, and just. I think you'll feel a little bit better if you take a sip.
What Phoebe is saying is, it's tea time.
I'll take it, but before I sip it, I'll just tell her, if you're trying to drug me, you're gonna need a bigger cup.
Oh, I would never try to do something so awful.
And I'm gonna take a sip.
So, you take a sip and you recover all your HP, and you
Okay.
also get 6 temporary hit points. Hopefully that doesn't come into play for the rest of the episode, but it is a thing to note. You feel actually refreshed and energized.
Mushika's waiting behind the curtain.
You'll never forget me!
Rats! He just starts throwing rats out of his pockets.
The hell was this in this tea?
Cain was drugged.
Yep.
Alright, sorry.
That was really refreshing. More than, I mean, it's quite refreshing not being poisoned, but drinking something thinking I might be poisoned and then it actually doing the opposite was quite nice. Thank you, Phoebe.
How do you know it's not poison?
Because you're smarter than that.
Am I smarter than that? Or am I kinder than that?
We'll just stick with smarter.
Okay. That's fair. And I'm gonna pour some more into his cup. A lot of things can be said over tea. I've found in the past, words don't necessarily have to be said, but the way a person carries themselves when they take a sip and then 2, and even when I give them a second cup.
So what is this tea time telling you?
I think this tea time is telling me that you're very wary about being vulnerable. And even though you told me a little bit about why you carry yourself the way you do, part of you wants to tell me more, but the other part is, no, I use this word very lightly and very loosely, but scared too.
All right, he's gonna stretch his arms and crack his knuckles here. Fine. If you want a little extra, I'll give it to you. This place is owned by a very beautiful woman.
Oh.
She is damn near perfect, and she's saved my life.
Oh my goodness.
When I was small, because at one point I was. I know I'm big now. But when I was smaller, you know, I had the classic orphan tale. Who cares, right? That's very normal in our world. However, living on the streets as a blue dragonborn and maturing a little faster than the humans around me, people took note and people didn't like me. But I was naive when I was young, and I was hopeful that the world was a nice place and I would meet people. I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna look at her. And I was hopeful I would meet people like you. But I didn't. Instead, it didn't matter how kind I was, how much coin that I had, or anything. I was homeless and starving. And I refused to steal because I wanted to be good. I wanted to be in the shiny armor that the city guard wore and they represented. And I felt that if I had done anything wrong, I would never get to don that attire. Now do you see why I think this is all hilarious? Anyways, I was being starved out by the markets in the community. It didn't matter if I wanted to pay for my way and get the food the correct way. Nobody would sell to me. And I was dying. I thought it would be fine because what kind of life was I going to live anyways if this is what I was dealing with? But then I met my dear friend and my closest companion. She saw that I was dying in the streets, and she decided to step in and buy me food. She picked me up when I was low, and I did the same for her. She didn't have a lot, and we became companions. It was harmless. We were kids. It wasn't anything crazy, but God, I knew that I was always going to be with her, and I was going to love every form of her. And I was never going to tell her because everything I did was going to tell her. And then she went missing. One day without her, I was so lost and confused, and we were together for so long that when she went missing, it made no sense. 2 days go by. 3. Nobody cared about either of us. We grew up in the shadows of this place. And if anything, people thought it was a joke that she even was my friend. I got bigger, she got older. But when I found her after she was gone, she was being publicly ridiculed for something that she wasn't even a part of. And it got out of hand, and people are cruel. And I tried to defend her from the crowds. I tried to help and calm the situation, and I just couldn't. And it cost her. And when I saw them holding the torch to her face, that's when I decided it's better to act to make sure that the ones that you care about stay protected. Because there are people who can't be reasoned with in this world. And it doesn't matter how nice you are or what you say. And it only got darker as I started to grow older and I met worse people. And I vowed to protect her, and I vowed to protect women, and I made sure that everything I did was going to be worth it for somebody else. Because some people are born like me, and some people are born like you, and some people are born like Liliana, and so on.
Whew. Phoebe's gonna reach out a hand. She's gonna slide her hand across the table. Look at Cain.
I'm gonna slide her my teacup and just look at her.
She's gonna take it. She's gonna pour what's left of the kettle in there and slide it back. Thank you for being open with me. Talking about those parts of our lives aren't fun. Reliving the negative things are never fun. Which I know can sound odd coming from my perspective of things. But I empathize, and I listen, and I'm here.
Maybe I told you this because I have a lot of respect for you, and I do admire you a lot, and I hope that you know that I'm not
While he has a hand to his forehead, she's just gonna lean over the table and poke his forehead. I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to do. You're perfect.
I just am starting to realize that if it's probably the tea and hearing your mom and being here and talking about something I don't even remember the last time I brought up. But listen, I just, now it's all coming to me right now in this moment. If you keep traveling with me, I don't want you to become somebody you're not. But I also know that if you do anything that you feel might betray yourself, I will always understand. And I will always understand where your heart is at any given time. Just like I understand Gilandra. And after I realize I say her name, I'm just gonna kind of like back up a little bit.
Well, that means a lot to me. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. And the long part of my mind, not the short part that forgets things often, but the long part.
But now do you see in the town why I worry about you and Temin and Co?
I do. I definitely do. I understand where your concerns are, and I will definitely not take what I've experienced here before today for granted. I'll be a little more cautious, and I don't know. I feel like I'm meant to be where I am, and from wherever we take off from here, I'll grow to be who I'm meant to be.
I'm gonna point at her. And I'm gonna move my hand and I'm gonna point at the bear. That's right. And you never have to explain it to anybody if you don't want to. Because
Okay.
what's in your heart is what's the truest form of it anyways, right?
That sounds like something I would have said, Cain.
Listen. I'm just saying. I will always be there to protect you if you need me. And if you can't cut a guy's throat, I'm gonna lean into her. Just tell me to do it, and I'll take care of it.
I'll give you like a secret. I can't joke about it. Okay. I was gonna try, but
One of the ladies of the Gilded Nymph approaches in the middle of your conversation. Oh, Cain will always take care of anything for anybody he cares about. A real big softy he is. She giggles and pushes you on the shoulder, Cain. Is there anything else we can bring you?
I mean, I'm okay. Thank you so much for the kettle and the water. It was very nice.
Oh, of course, sweetie. You're so cute. Oh, Cain.
Thank you. You're
She
so
smiles.
beautiful.
Thank you,
Mhm.
precious. She leaves for a little bit, and you two enjoy each other's company. When she comes back, she has a little flower crown that she gives you. And smiles and departs. A few of the patrons that are relaxing in the lounge, you know, they disperse after some time, maybe head to some private rooms, maybe head back to their home. The dancer changes out a couple of times as well, as you both enjoy each other's company for the rest of the evening. Well, night, rather. The next week passes. Cain does a few things that Cain does, and Phoebe continues to work with Geke, in fact, informing her that she had seen her mother, which Geke was very happy to hear about, especially given that she had told her about the shrine. Very proud of
Phoebe
herself.
gave her a big ol' hug.
It is certainly quite the bond Phoebe has with Geke. And it is certainly a deep bond as well that Cain holds with Gilandra. And on those words, unless there is anything else you would like to do.
Every morning, Phoebe drops off a hangover cure at the front desk where Lillian works.
All right. The ladies that work there have
Can I
certainly...
just note, did Phoebe just become a regular at the Gilded Nymph?
Well, they certainly know your name, Phoebe, and they know you when you come around, and in fact, you trade little gifts with each other. The ladies here are very sweet. They are all kind. A few of them you see during the daytime when there aren't a lot of patrons. You see they aren't wearing as revealing clothing. A few of them have some noticeable disfigurements or scars, but they still are walking around here just as happy as all the others and performing their daily tasks and talking with you and trading things with you. In the evenings is when you find, you know, there are some of these girls still out there with patrons, but, you know, you see a different air, a different vibe. Yeah. And yeah, Phoebe's name becomes known in the Gilded Nymph.
Achievement unlocked. Young hustler.
And on
yeah,
those
that's
words, we will come to an end of this episode of Fancie's Fables.
Nailed it.
Aw,
Mission complete.
yeah.
We'll get him next time.
My goodness. What a great time.
What a ride. What a roller coaster there.
Thank you
there
both.
was so much backstory. I loved it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Just like yesterday, we had a lot of reveals about two of our wonderful characters. And yeah, revealing a lot about who they are, where they come from, what they want in this world, and giving them little tidbits of character satisfaction as we continue to move forward in our tale.
I'm holding up this train real quick because what the fuck? How did you manage to not only have such a heartfelt moment, which I was like, you're Cain, you fucking are stoic as fuck, stop feeling things, right? I was like, okay, hold on. I'm on a feels train, and then instantly like, beep, 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 hands on the clock, moved 2 ticks, and now we're in combat. Like, how did we end up in combat and a feels train?
He told us.
Oh.
He told us it was gonna happen.
I
I
did.
knew going back into town.
I did tell you.
No,
But you know what?
No. He said something. No, it was last night because I was watching last night's, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry, guys. There's no combat in this."
I saw that
episode."
too. I was like, we're gonna get in a fight.
I don't
we
know.
did.
Honestly,
don't know.
I think it speaks volumes to my prowess as a dungeon master and the skill of my players that we are able to transition from such a heartfelt, raw, emotional reveal and growth for a character into snapping knees backwards and running in a die-hard chase, and then right back to emotional turns and twists and reveals with our
the ups and
characters.
Oh my gosh.
Question.
That is what you can come to expect from Fancie's Fables.
Did you love Cain kicking that guy's knee, or did you love Cain kicking that guy's knee?
I loved it.
Oh,
I heard it.
needed
Oh, good.
more
Oh,
of it.
good.
I could hear it.
I needed more
good.
of it.
In
I
fact,
was like,
I want one of those remixes where they take the beat to a song like do 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 do, right? But it's the sound of the knee snapping back.
If you when Xavier goes to edit this, he's gonna see me actually like because I could not stop picturing it. It's on my
feel
mind.
like we're gonna see Phoebe do a lot of things in edit. Like, Phoebe, you were the crowd emotion.
Phoebe was here,
while
and
Cain
here,
was going
and here,
through it.
and here, and
Listen.
here. No, sorry. Kelp was all over the place.
No.
Cause okay, can I tell you guys something? So because I'm so used to having Bullet and Dante here, and you know, Bullet and Dante are in our area, so it was just Xavier and Amanda. And when Xavier and Amanda and I get together, shit goes crazy. So I forgot we were streaming.
Yeah. Well, it's fine that you do that on stream. It's just he wanted you to be aware that you were doing that on stream.
Yep, I forgot.
I had a feeling, but I just wanted to let you know you were in the center of screen.
Thank you. Because afterwards I was like, oh shit, hold on, we streamed.
You're like reserve.
Yep.
Reserve.
Stream mode.
Shit.
But yes, great
Yes.
time. I absolutely appreciate both of you, and I appreciate both Bullet and Dante very much.
This was
You
fun.
guys
This was a
are
good idea.
an amazing party, and yes, I I wish we could play D&D every night. Like, this was great,
I
back to
know.
back
Fuck,
like
yes.
this. But unfortunately, all great things must come to an end, including this stream. You all have a great time. We will see you next time.
Boy, 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 boy.